Brad Garlinghouse, the champion and CEO behind Ripple, which is the parent company to the XRP token, just shared some shocking insights into the future of Ripple, global liquidity, and why what they're working on is so important for the future of international finance and your XRP bags. The tech over at Ripple and XRP is some of the world's best in blockchain. Yet why is the price struggling to move? Well, just a few days ago, the SEC decided to file a last-minute appeal, and over the last few videos we posted to the channel, we cover this info thoroughly. But it's likely the price has struggled because of the SEC lawsuit over the last 4+ years, which unfairly lowered institutional and retail confidence, then caused many large US-based exchanges to delist the token for at least a period of 3 years. And the news surrounding the appeal caused the price to dump a little over 16%, but I'll explain why this time is likely different and may provide the perfect dip buying opportunity as things heat up in the crypto markets through the end of the year. So not only will I be covering what Brad Garlinghouse shared at a recent conference in Seoul, Korea, but I'll also be sharing a video from Edward Snowden on the role of blockchain and decentralized money into the future, as well as a subtle shift in how Coinbase will now do business surrounding stablecoins and how this timely event is eerily close to the release of Ripple's stablecoin RLUSD. So if you're feeling blessed and bullish, comment 777, and if you're going to be the wealthiest person in your family tree, smash the subscribe button. Before we dive in, a quick reminder that the opinions in this video are for informational and educational purposes only and do not constitute financial, legal, or investment advice. All investments, including cryptos, carry risks and potential losses. Always do your own research and consult with a licensed financial advisor. We are not licensed financial advisors, and relying on our content for financial decisions is at your own risk. By watching this video, you agree we are not responsible for any losses or damages, and we do not guarantee any specific results or outcomes. Some of the links below may be affiliate links, and we may earn a commission, which actually helps support this channel and helps us to create value-based videos like this. We also hold some positions in the cryptocurrencies that we talk about, but that's only because we do what we believe in. However, this should not be interpreted as a recommendation for you to do the same. With that said, let's get into the video. Hello and welcome back to the Bull Runners channel. My name is Paul, and I want to start with Edward Snowden. For those of you guys who've probably heard the name but kind of forgot exactly who this guy is and why he's such an interesting character, he's an American former NSA intelligence contractor and a whistleblower who leaked classified documents revealing the existence of global surveillance programs. In other words, this guy kind of sits in the same ballpark as a lot of crypto communities, considering we don't really trust governments. We typically would like to rely on code over policymakers, and ultimately the values of privacy are quite important to both Edward Snowden and people in crypto communities. And here is what he shared at a recent conference.
The dollar is done. Nothing stops this train, as when Alden says it. Debasement is baked into our models. We see what's happening with the percentage of currency issuance, the deficit spending. It might not happen this year. It might not happen next year. It might not happen in 5 years. But it's very clear looking at the progress of history where these things end. We are in the age of paper, but it is on the decline. It is coming to the end. It's not about any flag. It's about the method.
Now, in this post directly from the person that shared the video, they basically state that Ripple's been building the rails for the new system and XRP is here to replace the dollar. Meanwhile, Ripple and the SEC are playing cat and mouse. But the reality is XRP is not really designed to replace the dollar, because if that is the case, they wouldn't already be introducing their RLUSD stablecoin. Instead, it's far more likely that XRP and the RLUSD stablecoin are going to be playing a key role in the growing demand for business-to-business cross-border payments, as Ripple Payments empowers fintechs to capitalize on this opportunity by offering a fast, affordable, reliable international payments solution, considering right now all of the old systems are far more clunky, they're far more expensive, they're far more opaque, and settlements typically take sometimes hours or even days. Now, because Ripple is a fintech and it uses blockchain technology, they do have a single point of access through an API and service 80 countries and 50 currencies. So what Edward Snowden just shared, and something that I find really interesting, is the fact that the US dollar has probably already peaked. It's probably been at its pinnacle. It's fiat currency. They're going to print it into the ground. They've consistently done that as we've seen inflation continue to rise and remain relatively high at an aggregate rate of 25%. Ripple, being a fintech that services many fiat currencies in many countries, is ultimately going to be a key player in the future of global finance now that it is introduced its RLUSD stablecoin. I think a lot of major banks and key players are going to want to continue to use a technology that is far better, far more frictionless than anything else out there. And guess what? Once it's connected, fintechs can offer instant, affordable payouts in local currencies 24/7, 365. So I would argue that is their moat. The fact that some nations fall and some nations will rise, and ultimately there's going to be connectivity across the board using blockchain and Ripple technology. Now let's dive into what Brad Garlinghouse recently shared at a conference surrounding RLUSD and why it's so good for the XRPL.
Two things come to mind, like big events. I'll save the bigger one for the second, but look, I think the stablecoin effort is a really important one, and I think Ripple has always taken the view that anything we can do that is good for the XRP ledger, we're going to lean into. Bringing liquidity to the XRP ledger is good for everyone in the community. And anytime I read online or just somebody saying that Ripple somehow isn't committed to the XRP ledger, I just think that they totally are missing it. Like, we're 100% committed to the XRP ledger. We always will be. And we would only do a stable coin if we thought it was good for the XRP ledger. But I think that's going to be an exciting step around the RLUSD.
Now, at the same time, I also think it's important to understand the value of stable coins, considering most people don't understand the business model and why a company like Ripple would introduce one to begin with. But here's Pat Phelan talking about it from the Ripple YouTube channel itself.
Answer, what are the advantages of stable coins in under a minute? Hi, my name is Pat Phelan. This is Crypto in a Minute. Stablecoin is a digital version of cash. And in the financial services industry, the old adage goes, cash is king. And that's true unless you don't have access to cash, you don't have the ability to use that cash, and worst case, that cash is not as much as you thought it was. So as financial services and other industries begin to roll out all of the clever applications that are occurring within crypto and blockchain, like on-chain solutions, like tokenization, and eventually Web3, stablecoin provides the ability to meet that demand. And then the important thing is, as you go through that, you've got the ability to do that in a way that's safe, secure, and ready to use on demand. What's fun about this is we are in a position now where the industry is at $150 billion, proving the demand is there. The reality is it's got a long way to go, and we're excited to see the journey and how it unfolds. I made it.
And I think it's important to point out a few key factors. The fact that it is a proven product, that means there is demand. When you look at Tether and the total market cap, we're sitting at $120 billion. When you look at USDC, and these are the major players in the stablecoin market, you're looking at $35 billion for a total of about $155 billion. However, that doesn't mean that there's not room for growth. It doesn't mean that over a period of time, and I believe the next 5 years, we're going to hit $2 to $3 trillion in terms of the stablecoin market, which means there are going to be other players that really enter the space and take it by storm. XRP and the team behind them, Ripple, aims to be one of them, and they are arguably going to be one of the most transparent. Another key factor is the fact that there's going to be on-demand liquidity, or ODL. This is where the real value in stablecoins lies, as the fact that most companies and most of the future real world assets are going to be tokenized, something that BlackRock is betting big on. So again, this is tremendous news, which brings me to what Brad Garlinghouse shared at a conference in Seoul, Korea.
Well, it is a good segue because, as we think about decentralized finance and the critical components, we've obviously talked about some here, but having a robust on XRPL stablecoin and enabling both effective on-ramps, off-ramps, liquidity around that is obviously pivotal. And I think what you've seen, there's a number of successful stablecoins out there, and I think those aren't going away. But I think the market overall is likely to grow significantly. Maybe it's 150 to 170 billion USD. And some people think it'll be north of 2 trillion or more than 10x in the next 5 years. And I think Ripple has always been focused on kind of a compliance first, lots of transparency. And when you think about the things that are so critical in the success of a stablecoin, lots of transparency, compliance first, those are really important things. And I think the success Ripple has had working with financial institutions, I think sets up for RLUSD or Ripple USD for success. And again, we think it helps the overall XRPL ecosystem because it just adds liquidity on Ledger. So we're excited about that. We are very close to, I think earlier today, somebody asked me for a timeline. I just said weeks, not months, because of, but we're getting there pretty quickly. And we just want to make sure we launch with kind of full regulatory oversight out of the gates to keep everybody happy.
Now, when Brad Garlinghouse talks about regulatory oversight, when he talks about complete and total transparency, and just working with regulators in general, I think that is an extremely important thing, considering Tether right now doesn't really do that. They operate offshores. They are the biggest player in the room. However, they over time can be taken down if you have players like Coinbase sharing information like this. Someone recently posted RIP Tether. It just takes one big one for the rest to follow. And here is an announcement directly from Coinbase, basically stating their upcoming changes to stablecoin support in the EEA. Due to the new European markets and crypto assets regulation, Coinbase will restrict services for stablecoins that do not meet these requirements by December 30th of 2024 for customers in the European Economic Area. And I would argue if it's going to happen over in Europe, it might even potentially happen in the US, as we are getting really close to either the new election or a bill around stable coins, which again will require complete and total transparency from these stablecoin issuers. That said, in November, we will share details regarding the transition to plan and assist our EEA customers. This will include options for switching to stablecoins that have achieved compliance under MiCA, such as USDC and EuroC. But guess what's not on there? Tether, the biggest player in the game. So it's highly likely that if Ripple and RLUSD are within the bounds of those laws and have regulatory compliance, then they are also going to be good to go to be listed on exchanges like Coinbase, and that will provide a stupid amount of traction, eyeballs, more liquidity to the XRPL, and arguably a lot of that value will find its way into the XRP token, as I believe the team is going to incentivize the buying and selling and the demand of XRP itself. Now, with all of those exciting developments at play, and with an upcoming presidential election where we might have a more crypto-friendly environment, I do believe this time is different. So as of recently, we did see that 16% sell-off on the news of the appeal. However, when you start to see lackluster sell-offs on some pretty important news that's bearish, it's usually an indicator that there's more strength in the underlying market than you would expect. Because if no one really remembers, the last time that we actually had a major announcement coming from the SEC was December of 2020. And in that period of time, the market sold off 67% before retracing and bouncing to a new high of about $2. So this sell-off actually was the catalyst for a lot of buyers to start entering the space and loading up at very cheap prices of like 16 cents for XRP, and then pushed it to new local highs, which is why I say this time actually looks different, because in the last sell-off we did get new lower lows, yet we still saw the market really rally into the start of the year. Well, now we are in a very bullish end of the year type of a scenario where markets are starting to pick up on strength. Even with a bit of bearish news in recent sell-offs, things look relatively strong for XRP, considering we are still holding a support right here of about 50 cents. Our local highs would be sitting at about 64 cents where we've consistently sold off. So this is the range to play. However, I am liking the fact that we stopped selling off right here at about 50 cents. That said, if we start to get an end of the year rally and we get a break above 64 cents, I do believe we're going to hit the 74 cent range. Now, when you look at the confluence or the factors at which we start to converge and collide on resistances, our next major resistance would align at about 74 cents, which perfectly aligns with our horizontal resistances right here, here, and even here. So when you start to get something like this, a move to the upside and a confluence of factors where we have multiple resistances, I do believe we might break out right here, sell right back off for a bear trap before finally making that push to new local highs for the year, arguably a new all-time high. But realistically, I would like to watch the price action closely at 74 cents, then again about $1.70 to $2, and then finally our major all-time high at $3. I still believe, and I got to get that line up there, I still believe that this is a good dip buying opportunity, considering we did not see a serious sell-off like we did last time on a major announcement from the SEC. So again, just because we sold off doesn't mean it's a scary time. It actually provides a very good dip buying opportunity for those of you guys who hold high conviction positions in XRP, which leads me to the fact that you should check out bullrunners.com/cryptoland. All you have to do is click the link down in the description or the bio below, and you can find out how to earn more crypto in less than 10 minutes with the #1 play to earn XRP game. This quick little 8-minute video explains exactly how it works, but if you're like, yo, I'm ready to go, I want to put my XRP to work, I'm already holding it, or I'm going to hold it through the end of the year, this is a great way to do that. First, you get an XRP wallet, then you get your game pieces, then you play the game to earn crypto, and it takes about 10 minutes per day. That is it. The crypto is directly convertible for XRP, and I wouldn't recommend you do it all right away. I would recommend that you watch these videos so you kind of understand how it works, so you feel comfortable with it. And if you do, I think this is a great opportunity for you to not only reduce the volatility in your portfolio by earning crypto, but also to compound that XRP bag of yours, or to stack it if we believe that an end of the year bull run is going to occur. I think it's going to happen. We've been talking about it all summer long. We did experience a summer lull, which kind of sucked, but now we're at the tail end of that. Last year in 2023, the markets really started to take off at the end of October and rallied through the start of the year. And we believe that exact same scenario is going to occur this year, considering markets are looking really strong, even with the sell-off. It wasn't as nasty as it could have been, which again, to me, is an underlying indicator of serious strength and dip buying. So one last time, go to bullrunners.com. You have nothing to lose, everything to gain. Subscribe, just check it out. And you, if it makes it easier for you, like I don't like typing things in, literally just click the link down in the first comment of this video. It's the pinned post. You'll be good to go. So thanks so much for watching the video. Hope you learned something new. Look forward to seeing you in the next video, my friend. And if you haven't already, subscribe and like it. Helps us out.